Good evening and welcome to A Woman's Perspective. Tonight we're really going to talk women on the school board, and we're talking with Cindy Elizer, who is Supervisor of Elementary Education and Professional Development for the Lafourche Parish School Board. We often talk Terrebonne Parish School Board, and I've interviewed women from that school board, but I have not gotten a chance to do Lafourche. So tonight is Lafourche night. All right. Well, I want you to tell our viewing audience first some more about yourselves. We talked about other things that you've done.
Sure. Well, Laura, I'd like to say it's a pleasure to be here with you tonight and to be representing Lafourche Parish Schools. My name is Cindy Elizer. I am the Supervisor of Elementary Education with Lafourche Parish, and I also supervise several other programs, and I do supervise professional development through Title II funding, which is federal funding that is available for professional development activities for both teachers and administrators in the school system. I was principal at Raceland Lower Elementary for 13 years prior to this job, and prior to that I was an elementary school teacher. I have 25 years in the public system, 5 years in private sector, so that makes me a long-time educator, I would say, and have loved every minute of it and have loved everything I have done in education and still feel like I'm ready to go.
But you're also a representative or a liaison from the Principals Association, the Louisiana Principals Association,
that's
to
correct.
The national. Is that right?
That is correct.
I don't know if I said the title right.
That's correct. I have not detached myself from the Principals Association. I am the state representative for the Louisiana Association of Principals to the National Association of Elementary School Principals, where I represent the voice of all elementary school principals for the state of Louisiana.
And that's so extremely important. I mean, because elementary school is the foundation.
Absolutely.
And so we talked today about professional development, you and I did earlier, and some of the problems that you're having now. Could you talk about that?
Sure. Right now, our school systems are really facing a lot of budget cuts. The financial situation is something that would take me a long time to explain. However, with the state, we are mandated to do certain things, and we in turn are dependent upon local funds, which you know taxation is down now, and also on federal funds to implement a lot of programs. We are looking for supplemental monies to fund many of the things that we do in the district. For example, after-school programs, tutoring programs, and so forth. We depend a lot on grants and federal funds to fund these programs. And that's one of the things that I definitely stress throughout the state of Louisiana about our voice in D.C. on making sure that our legislators are in tune to what goes on in Louisiana and to be supportive of federal legislation and to encourage legislation that will continue supporting Louisiana schools, as well as all schools throughout the nation, of course.
And so you traveled to Washington.
I did. I was there 2 weeks ago, actually, yes. Yes, you want to hear about that?
Yes.
Okay. As I said, I represent the principals throughout the state of Louisiana. And I feel that as that delegate, I am voicing not only Lafourche Parish concerns, but the concerns of all principals throughout the state. And I feel that our representatives and senators in D.C. are the voice of the people of Louisiana. And I ran into a problem this year. This is my 5th year to do this, where I schedule appointments with our congressman and go to the Hill with my delegation from Louisiana, which consists of myself and other principals, the president of the state association and the executive director. Now, these people aren't from Lafourche, understand. One is from central Louisiana, the other is from North Louisiana currently. And the problem I ran into, I was only able to schedule 4 visits. Now, like I said before, I feel that the people on the Hill are the voice of Louisiana. I was turned down by many of our representatives. They would not accept my email or allow me a visit or the opportunity to speak to them or an aide because I was not in their congressional district.
So we won't say who didn't allow you, but let's give credit
To those who did,
see
of course,
you.
of course. Cedric Richmond, Senator Mary Landrieu, Rodney Alexander, who is Central Louisiana, and a gentleman. Gentleman and a scholar.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, he's Red Butler.
Yes, and Jeff Landry. Those were the
Jeff
four
Landry.
that I was able to get appointments with. And I'm hoping that I can rectify that in some way, shape, or form, because, like I said, I think these people are voted to represent Louisiana, and I will have to go back and sadly tell their constituents that I could not get any information, nor could I get their feeling on any view for educational issues in Louisiana because they just would not see
Well,
me.
and this is a viewing audience who can
Help
tell-
me with that,
Right,
hopefully,
who can help you
yes.
with that. That you should be able to see any one of our congressmen and Senator Landrieu and Senator Vitter
Absolutely.
in when you are in Washington and you are representing all the people. In addition to that, this is the audience who can also help you with these, which the universities have the same problem. These mandates from Baton Rouge that are unfunded. Now, does that seem fair, guys? Does that seem fair to mandate something and then not fund it and tell your school system or your universities to find the money? Chip's just going to write you a check, I promise
I'm telling you, it's happening over and over again. For I can give you several examples. Teachers can acquire what's called a national board certification, and this is not an easy certification to get. They have to jump through a lot of hoops to prove themselves for this certification. However, if they get the certification, there is a $5,000 per year stipend attached to that. The State Department normally picks up that stipend. Well, last year they said, it's a law, you still have to give the stipend, but we're no longer going to fund that. They very often come across that we need to use certain materials in our schools, or we need to implement certain programs, and they will say, this is what you need to do, but we're not giving you any money. And it's just on and on.
So what do they expect you to do, go to the people for taxes?
Oh, well, I don't know.
A mandate that does not come from the people?
And we're not getting any increases in minimum foundation. That's what runs our schools basically from the state level. That's how we get that state money. And the governor did go onto the TV with an advert stating just a few months ago boldly that education was not being cut. And it's not being cut, per se. The money is still coming at the same rate, but the expenses are getting more
increasing.
and more. Just like it costs you a lot more to fill up your car with gas than it did 2 years ago. Same thing with us, just on a bigger scale.
Not being cut, but you're getting more mandates, etc.
Exactly.
And you also were discussing some of the school board initiatives for Lafourche Parish.
Yes.
So I know that we discussed two a while ago.
Yes. Our school system is very progressive, I think. We have a lot to be proud of. We have early childhood programs where we are trying to reach those children at an early age. But we're also going to be offering some things for our older students. Our high school students will be able to do some online courses. And this will not only be for our students currently in school trying to get more credits, because you do have some high achievers that want to get more units and yet they can't do that seat time always. They will be able to have online instruction. And what's really great about this, we have lots of people in this area that are homeschooling their children. And if they enroll in our school system, they will be able to enroll in these courses also. So we will enable children to be able to learn more, to learn in the rate in which they can and the pace they can, and also to enable them to take these courses maybe when they just don't want to come to school, or
Well, that's what I was wondering.
yeah.
Like, some students may have to work.
Correct.
Just in preparation for going to college, because we do want our students to go to college, or because we're in a recession.
That's right.
And just to get the money that they need, whether it be clothes or their fun
Absolutely.
time, etc., or sometimes to help the family. So this would help.
Ideal. And another thing we're doing in our middle schools, students will be allowed to take some of their high school courses that way also. So you could actually have a student that is in middle school, and they could enter high school with a number of Carnegie units by taking those courses the same way. Therefore, and the idea, Laura, is not for them to get out of school at 16 and go to college. I mean, we know that
Right.
16-year-olds don't belong in college. However, let's say that your student was able to take all of these courses and obtain all these credits, and they were able to exit school at 16 or 17, they could do dual enrollment in the college. And they could be a member of the high school community, do the courses for a whole year in college, and really like get a year's college free.
And you were also talking
Outstanding.
about, and I know that this is one of Supriya's, look, I'm on a first-name basis with the First Lady. How y'all like that? Okay. But the Supriya Jindal's initiatives for the younger students, and you said the Bayou Buff School.
Correct. We're real big in technology in our district also, and when we got a lot of AURA funds, stimulus money in our district, and one of the things we did, we spent a lot of that money on technology, implementing what we call 21st century classrooms for technology. And you would not believe how well this is working out. The children, I'm talking about little children, first grade, have little laptop computers. And if anybody knows anything about little children, they're very strong on technology, probably know a lot more than a lot of us. But they have laptop computers where they do work on those laptops, Promethean boards in the classrooms. And that's one of the things that the First Lady did through grant money with AT&T. She selected one of our schools. We don't know how, but she selected Bayou Elementary. And
Bayou Buff.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Bayou Buff Elementary.
Buff,
The Buff. I'm so sorry about that. Bayou Buff Elementary. And that school was presented with a Promethean board, from her foundation.
Would you explain what a Promethean board is?
It's an interactive board. I would say probably, I don't know the dimensions exactly, but I would say at least maybe 4 by 6 feet. And it's like having a computer in front of you, but it's the children, it's interactive. It's a little bit difficult to explain if you don't know anything about it. However, it is a premier teaching tool. And after we implemented these 21st century classes, it really sparked the interest for the students, to be involved in the technology, the teachers, the principals, so they are seeking grant money left and right and throughout the district.
Is there any chance of AT&T helping again?
Well, I don't know, but we have a grant writer actually in our district, and she does a phenomenal job of getting us funds for.
And you can make a plea to all of the companies out there
Absolutely.
that this is something
very important, very important.
Very, very important.
Because technology is our future. I mean, it's the future for the kids, and it's the way they learn. It's what they know. I mean, we can't fight it. We need to be with them and let them prepare for the 21st century.
This is why God made me so old, because I have not gotten with it as I should. And before we go, I wanted you to tell everyone about this core, this universal core.
Sure. This is going to be another unfunded mandate for the training part in our district. Yes,
mandate again.
The U.S. is going to a national curriculum, a core curriculum, where every state in the union will be following the same curriculum. Today, well, at one time when I started teaching, I don't think every district followed the same curriculum, even though we had standards. It is going to be where the entire United States, I'm saying all of the states, but maybe 2 are not doing it, 3 or 4, that will have a common curriculum throughout the United States, common assessments and so forth. Now, this is going to be a change for our teachers. They'll have to be trained on the usage of it. And that, too, the state says, go forth and train them. we're going to expect these many days, but we're not going to fund the trainings.
Well, thank you so much, Cindy. I want to invite you to be a part of what the Louisiana Center for Women in Government does with the Louisiana Girls Leadership Academy, where we promote responsible citizenship, leadership development, and marry that to an education in public policy, which you are so interested in already. And I thank everyone for being with us tonight, and we will see you again next week. Thank you.